My voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, all of you please respond to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Am I audible, guys? Please respond to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Nice. Right, so now please check it what we completed in the last session. What topic here we are understanding there in the last session. I think so. We in the last class we started with differences between Java and others. The topic we started there. In that, given the first title, first difference is what there C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what a dynamic programming language. Okay. Then discussion I have given that if any programming language is following static memory allocation, then that programming language is called a static programming language. So here I given clearly what is static programming, what is static memory allocation. If the memory allocation is provided at compilation time, if the memory allocation is provided for the data at compilation time, then that memory allocation is called what there static memory allocation. Examples are C and C++. In a C and C++ applications, memory will be allocated for the data at a compilation time only. If you want to get more clarity, I will include that. In a C and C++ applications, memory will be allocated for the data at a compilation time only. At a compilation time only. That is the reason why C and C++ are what are the static programming languages. But what is dynamic programming language? If any programming language is following dynamic memory allocation, then the programming language is called a dynamic programming language. What is dynamic memory allocation? If the memory allocation is provided for the data at runtime of the applications, then that memory allocation is called what there a dynamic memory allocation. Now examples for Java, examples for dynamic memory allocation is what there Java and Python. Especially now here we have to think in the form of Java. In Java applications, memory will be in Java applications, memory will be allocated for the data at the runtime of the applications, not at compilation time here. At runtime of the applications only memory will be allocated here. Okay, fine. The diagram I have given there, what is the compilation, what is the purpose of the compilation, what is execution, what is compilation time, what is runtime, that all the points here I discussed with you. After that we started with another point here. What is that another point here I have given there? Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but the preprocessor is not required in Java. Clear? This is the second difference here we have to understand. Before going to start the second difference now, before going to start the second difference, first of all here we have to understand, turn on subtitles. No? Okay, didn't check it actually, Patan. Subtitles part if you're expecting there. Okay, have you seen that? Patan, now please check it. Are you getting it? Have you seen any subtitles? No, not yet. 1 minute, just give a minute of time. Right, sir. Now check it. No, no. Okay. Right, sir. 1 minute. No, I think it is not coming here. Yeah, option is available, sir. I think then I didn't check it actually. Otherwise, we're able to get it. No. Yeah, just give at least today time. No, then tomorrow definitely I'll provide that. Yesterday I have to check it, but unfortunately I have not checked it. No, just today, just give time for me. Then tomorrow definitely I'll provide this. Okay, Patan. Hmm. Right, guys. Then actually he requested yesterday also, but I forgot it actually. I need to check it. There is an option in go to webinar panel. Yeah, no to worry for it. Now let's move to the point. Okay? Yeah, subtitle is available actually. Are you getting it? Any subtitle? Vaishnavi. No, Patan, you're not getting it. Captions. Yeah, the captions I enabled actually, but I'm not getting it actually. Captions I enabled, but you're not getting that one. Okay. Yeah, Patan, just you have an option like captions, right? Please check that. Turn on the captions. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, Patan, then you have an option like captions. Turn on the captions. Turn on captions, so you'll get it. Patan, try to check it. Okay, right. Yeah, now let's move to the point, guys. Now all of you understand it now. So preprocessor is required in C and C++. Where is option? Menu. Go to webinar menu if you open it. Go to app if you open it. No, go to webinar menu. There, right side you are able to get it. Dots you are getting the right, not on dots. No captions. Anthony, then where it is? Where is that option actually? Just guide to me one time. Where you are getting it? The bottom right. Bottom. Now please check bottom right as captions options available. In the go to webinar panel, bottom right, right bottom captions pop out. Two things are available. Yeah, yeah. Then I have seen that. Bottom right, two things are available, right? Pop out and captions. So there we can enable it. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Okay, right. Okay, that's fine. Now let's move on to the point here. So preprocessor is required. Preprocessor is required in a C and C++, but the preprocessor is not required in Java. Preprocessor is required in a C, C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Understand it? But what is preprocessor? What is the location of the preprocessor? That all here we have to understand first. I given one diagram there in the last session. What was the diagram here I given there? First a C program I have taken. After taking that C program, compilation part here we provided there. After compilation, we are getting the .exe file. If we give the .exe file for execution there, we are able to get some output. Compilation, if we elaborate the compilation part here, in the compilation there are four missions. Their work is nothing but what are their compilation. What are the four missions which are having compilation here? Preprocessor, compiler, assembler, loader, link editor. These four missions are available. Right, sir. Preprocessor location we understand clearly. But before that, compiler internal structure also I want to give. There I given the information like what there. Lexical analysis space, syntax analysis space, semantic analysis space, intermediate code generation, code optimization. Then after that, what next one here? Code generation. These are all the four phases are available. Now try to check this diagram once again. No? Please check this diagram here. You are able to get it. Right, sir. It's okay, fine. So now here we are getting it clearly. Now understand this now. This is about like what the diagram. So the preprocessor location here we understand. What we have seen that preprocessor location here we have seen. Preprocessor locations here we understand. Okay. When preprocessor location is available, what is its responsibility? What is its job? Now here we have to understand it. What it will do? What is its responsibility? Now see this one. Guys, I'm going to ask some questions to you. Now try to answer for it. All of you. In C and C++, in a C and C++, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of header files. Am I right? The complete predefined library was provided in the form of header files, right? Clear. Tell me some examples for header files. No, what examples you know about these header files? Here, well-known examples. Here I'm asking there. Yesterday about .h purpose is not required now. Their purpose is not required, but now here we have to understand it. Yesterday about .h, Khanyo.h, math.h, and so on and so on and so on. So many. Okay. In C and C++, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of header files. Yesterday.h, Khanyo.h, math.h, and so on. Clear. Next, if you want to use the predefined library in a C and C++ applications, we have to include we have to include header files. We have to include header files. For this, we will use hash include statements. Guys, now please check it. Am I right? Is this point is okay? If you want to use the predefined library or predefined libraries in C and C++ applications, we have to include header files. For this, we will use hash include statements. Clear? Now, examples here we have to understand hash include stdio.h, hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, hash include math.h. Like this here we are having some content. Okay. Right, sir. Then what next one here after this? For example, what I am telling now, if you prepare any C program, if you prepare any C program, inside the C program, if you write hash include statements like this, and if you compile this program, if you compile this C program, then what is going to be happen? What is going to be happen? Okay. Patan, don't worry. Then at the end of the session today, I will guide you then how to open it now. Don't worry. But let me continue this part here. Okay. At the end of the session, at 9:15, I'll talk with you regarding that. Today, adjust for it. Then tomorrow onwards, we are able to check it. No, but at the end of the class, just rewind to me. I'll show how we are going to do this. Okay. Right. Guys, now understand this clearly. What I'm telling you. If you write C program with this hash include statements, and if you compile that C program, what is going to be happen? Observe carefully. Understand it now? When we compile this C program, preprocessor is the first phase actually in the compilation process. Preprocessor will recognize all these hash include statements. Preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements. After that, preprocessor will take all the provided header files names, stdio.h, conio.h, math.h and all. Preprocessor will check whether these header files are available or not in the C software. In C and C++ software, whether these header files are available or not available. That preprocessor will check. In the case, if these header files are not available in C predefined library, it will raise some error. It will provide some error. In the case, if these header files are available in a C and C++ softwares, if these header files are available in C and C++ softwares, definitely preprocessor will take the header files. Preprocessor will load the header files content to the memory. Preprocessor will load the header files content to the memory. Understand the point here? What I am telling you? So now the point is what the main intention of the preprocessor is what there to recognize hash include statements and to load the provided header files content into the memory. To recognize hash include statements and to recognize and to load the provided header files content into the memory. For that particular reason only that preprocessor is provided. Now let me write that information easily we can understand it now. All of you observe carefully. Right. So now if we compile C and C++ programs, C or C++ programs, if we compile C or C++ programs, then the preprocessor will perform the following actions. What actions here it is able to perform there? Preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements and takes all the provided header files names. Okay. Preprocessor will check whether the provided header files exist or not in the C or C++ predefined libraries. Point is very clear. If the provided header files exist, if the provided header files does not exist, if the provided header files do not exist in the C or C++ predefined libraries, then the preprocessor will raise an error. Next one is if the provided header files exist in the C or C++ libraries, then the preprocessor will load the header files content to the memory. Guys, now I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. Preprocessor is performing some activities now. Okay, preprocessor is performing some activities. Now tell me, at what time this preprocessor is performing all these activities? Now tell me, is that as part of the compilation or at runtime? Please confirm to me now. The preprocessor is performing all these things as part of what? At compilation time or at runtime? Definitely at compilation time only. Definitely at a compilation time only. That's nice. Now I'm giving a small note. Now observe carefully. Now observe carefully. In a C and C++, in a C and C++ applications, the preprocessor is loading predefined libraries at a compilation time. At a compilation time. So this type of loading is called static loading. Please recognize this statement here. Please all of you try to understand this step now, this point now. In the future I'm going to use this point also clearly. In a C and C++ applications, the preprocessor is loading all predefined libraries at compilation time, only. So this type of loading is called what there? Static loading. So libraries are loaded by the preprocessor at compilation time. So this type of loading is called what there? Static loading. Now coming to the conclusion, guys. What is the conclusion here? I'm telling to you. Now observe carefully. The conclusion is what there? In a C and C++, in a C and C++, preprocessor is required. In C and C++, is preprocessor is required. Come on, guys. Now tell me, for what purpose this preprocessor is required now? In C and C++ applications, preprocessor is required. For what purpose this preprocessor is required here now? Here we have to understand that point here. Now I'm telling to you, now observe carefully. In C and C++, preprocessor is required to recognize all hash include statements in order to load the provided header files. In C and C++, preprocessor is required to recognize all hash include statements in order to load the provided header files. This is a conclusion here we have to understand. Guys, now please confirm to me. All of you are getting clarity on this point now. In C and C++, preprocessor is required to recognize all hash include statements in order to load the provided header files. Is my point is clear or not? Please say yes or no. I'm asking to all of you guys. What is the purpose of the preprocessor in C and C++? All of you are getting clarity on this point now? Definitely. Awareness is required. Everybody must aware about all these points. Clear. Now this is a time to understand why preprocessor is not required in Java. Why preprocessor is not required in Java? Why it is not required inside the Java? That here we have to understand now. Now observe carefully. I'm going to give one point here, one small point. Now try to understand it clearly. All of you understand it now. In Java, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of classes and interfaces inside the packages. Please, all of you check this point here. What I am giving now. In Java, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of classes and interfaces inside the packages. Got it? Please, all of you respond for me. All right. What are the various examples for the packages here? If you think about it now, java.io package, java.util package, java.sql package, and so on. So many. Just examples here I've given there. So many packages are available. Clear. Okay, in C and C++, the predefined libraries are available in the form of header files that we understood. But in Java, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of classes and interfaces inside the packages. That's nice. Examples for the packages are what? Java.io, java.util, java.sql, and so on. That's nice. Now, in Java applications, observe carefully. In Java applications, to use predefined libraries, we have to include packages. For this we have to use import statements. Guys, now please all of you recognize the statement what I have given there. In Java, all the libraries are available in the form of packages. Okay, but to use that predefined libraries, we have to use what statements now? We have to include all the libraries now. If you want to include all the libraries there, what we have to use there? What is the statement here we have to use there? We have to use import statements. What we have to use there? Import statements. Guys, all of you are getting clarity or not? Nice. Okay, fine. What is the next point here I'm telling now? Observe carefully. Alright, sir. Now the point is what? Now tell me how we are going to write that import statements. Examples here I'm telling to you how we are going to write import statements. If you understand it, import java.io.store, import java.io.store, import java.util.store import java.sql.store. Guys, now in this import statement, what is the meaning of this store actually? What you are thinking about the store? Answer for it. What you are thinking about this store? What is this store actually? Right, so now star is representing all classes and interfaces of that package. Actually, what happened? Java.io is a package now. Inside the Java.io package, number of classes and interfaces are available. So many classes and interfaces are available inside the Java.io package. Now I want to get all classes and interfaces of Java.io. Right. In Java.util, so many classes and interfaces are available. By using this star, we are able to specify that I want to get all classes and interfaces of Java.util package. In Java.sql also, so many classes and interfaces are available. By providing star notation, here we are saying that I want to get all classes and interfaces of Java.sql package. I want to get all classes and interfaces of Java.sql package. That is the reason why here we specified this star. So whatever it may be, import statement can be used to import or include all the predefined libraries of the specified packages. That's nice. Okay, fine. But here the point is watch. Observe carefully, guys. All of you know. If we compile Java program, please recognize this. If we compile Java program, preprocessor is not available in Java. In place of that preprocessor, compiler will perform some activities and JVM will perform some activities. Guys, observe carefully. If we compile a Java program, then the compiler, please recognize this. I am not saying that preprocessor. I am saying that compiler. Then compiler will perform the following actions. What compiler is able to perform the actions? No. Observe carefully. First of all, compiler will recognize all the import statements and take all the package names. Compiler will recognize all import statements and take all the provided package names. Point number one. Point number two, compiler will check whether these packages are available or not in the Java predefined library. Compiler will check whether the provided packages exist or not in the Java predefined library. Okay, now two cases here now. In the case if the packages are not available, then what compiler will do? If the provided packages do not exist, in the Java predefined libraries, then the compiler will raise an error. Like what is the error here we are able to get there? Now observe carefully. The error is what there? Package xxx does not exist. For example, if the package is what there, java.util package, no, we can say that error message is what there, package java.util does not exist. Package java.io does not exist. Package java.sql does not exist. Like this here, we are able to get an error message. When it is a case, no, if the provided packages do not exist in the Java predefined libraries, then the compiler will raise an error like what there, package xxx does not exist. Please, all of you put more concentration. Small deviation here, I'm telling no. Small point here, I'm telling you. Now observe carefully. If the provided packages exist in the Java predefined library, guys, observe carefully. What's the point I'm telling there? If the provided packages exist in the Java predefined library, in the case of C and C++, no, when a preprocessor identifies a header files in the predefined libraries, preprocessor has loaded all the header files content to the memory as part of the compilation. They're directly a part of the compilation. Preprocessor has been loading the respective header files content to the memory. That is static loading. But in the case of Java, what I'm telling, no, first compiler will search for the specified packages in the Java predefined library. If they're not available, you'll get an error. If they're available, what compiler will do? If they are available, what compiler will do? Now observe carefully. If the provided packages exist in the Java predefined libraries, then the compiler will not raise any error. Compiler will not raise any error at the same time, and the compiler and at the same time the compiler will not load any predefined class or interface from the packages to the memory. Guys, observe carefully what I am telling to you. If the provided packages exist in the Java predefined libraries, then the compiler will not raise any error, and at the same time the compiler will not load any predefined class or interface from the package to the memory. Compiler will not load any predefined class or interface to the memory. Guys, now observe carefully. In C and C++, who is loading in C and C++, who is loading predefined libraries to the memory? In C and C++, who has loaded header files content to the memory? Come on, give response for me. Who has loaded all the header files content to the memory in C and C++? Now tell me, guys, all of you know. Waiting for a response. In C and C++, who has loaded? In C and C++, who has loaded header files content to the memory? Preprocessor. Then some of you are giving compiler. No. Preprocessor has taken the responsibility of loading predefined libraries to the memory in C and C++. But in Java, now tell me, in Java, what compiler is doing? What compiler is doing? Isn't it responsibility for the compiler to load predefined libraries? In the case of Java, what compiler is doing? Is it taking any responsibility for loading predefined library? Is it loading any predefined library to the memory? Compiler is not at all responsible for loading predefined libraries to the memory. But what is compiler responsibility here? In Java, compiler is responsible for checking whether the predefined libraries are available or not. In Java, compiler is responsible for checking whether the predefined libraries are available or not. That's it. If they are available, it's okay, well and good. If they are not available, raise an error. Understand the point clearly what I am telling there? Okay, fine. Now observe carefully. Note type of point here I am telling there. Compiler responsibility I have given there. If the provided packages exist in Java predefined libraries, then the compiler will not raise any error, and at the same time the compiler will not load any predefined class or interface to the memory. Okay, fine. In Java, when we execute the Java programs, when we execute the Java application, when JVM encounter any predefined class or interface, then the JVM will load the required classes and interfaces to the memory. Guys, now tell me, all of you now tell me, in Java, who is responsible to load predefined libraries to the memory? Who is responsible to load predefined libraries to the memory in the case of Java? Come on, guys, all of you. I'm asking this question to you. Now tell me, in the C and C++, who is responsible to load predefined libraries to the memory? In the C and C++, who is responsible to load predefined libraries to the memory? In a C and C++, who is responsible to load predefined libraries to the memory? Preprocessor. But in Java, who is responsible to load predefined libraries to the memory? In Java, who is responsible to load predefined libraries to the memory? In Java, who is responsible there? JVM. That's nice. So JVM is loading predefined libraries to the memory. Now tell me, everybody, once again answer for my question. No. In C and C++, at what time predefined libraries are loaded to the memory? At what time? At compilation time or at runtime? At what time libraries are loaded to the memory in C and C++? Come on, everybody. Compilation time, compilation time. But in Java, at what time predefined libraries are loading? In Java, at what time predefined libraries are loaded? Runtime, runtime. So this type of loading predefined libraries is called dynamic loading. Is called what? The dynamic loading. Right, sir. Now tell me, in which language static loading is going on? In which language static loading is going on? Now tell me, guys, in which language static loading is going on? C and C++. In which language dynamic loading is going on? In which language dynamic loading is going on? Java. Now I'm coming for the conclusion, guys. I'm coming for conclusion. Please put more concentration about this conclusion here. Now observe carefully. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Preprocessor is not required. Is not required. Why? Because in Java, in Java, hash include statements are not available. Hash include statements are not available. Not only that, in Java, hash include statements and header files. In Java, header files and hash include statements are not available. Okay. In Java, header files, and hash include statements are not available. Okay. Alternatively, what are available? Alternatively, what are available? Alternatively, classes. Alternatively, Java has classes and interfaces in the form of packages and the import statements. Alternatively, Java has the classes and interface in the form of packages and the import statements. Because of that reason here, Java doesn't require what? Preprocessor. Java doesn't require what? There? Preprocessor. Understand it clearly? Okay, right, sir. This is exactly the point here what I'm telling there. Right, sir. Now just one small doubt here. Now people are asking to me, just 1 minute. No, one small doubt. Loading of predefined libraries and variables also same process in C or Java. Yeah, actually, see, in any programming language, in all programming language, loading libraries to the memory is a common. Loading libraries to the memory. But at what time we are loading? That's the point here. At what time we are loading? At compilation time, if you are loading, no, it will be like what there? Static loading. At runtime, if you load, no, it will be like what there? Dynamic loading. Okay, then you may get one question there. Okay, sir, what is the difference between static loading and dynamic loading? What else? Then in both the cases, the libraries are going to be loaded to the memory. That's okay, fine, nice. But what is the difference we are able to get by performing static loading and by performing dynamic loading? If you have this question now, I'm giving some point clarity now. Observe carefully. In static loading, at compilation time, if we load the libraries, then there is no guarantee whether we are going to use all the libraries at runtime or not. Lakshmi ma'am, Lakshmi Narayana ma'am, are you getting my question now? If you perform static loading at compile time, if you load the libraries, no, then there is no guarantee of using them at runtime. Unnecessary loading is going to be possible. Unnecessary loading is possible. Unnecessary loading is going to be performed in the case of static loading. But if it is a dynamic loading, understand it now. If it is a dynamic loading, as per the requirement only, the required classes and interfaces are only be loaded to the memory. Unnecessary loadings are not going to be happen in the case of dynamic loading. In the case of dynamic loading, what we require, that elements are only be loaded. But in the case of static loading, everything will be loaded, whether we are going to use them or not at runtime. Utilization is going in at runtime, not at compilation time. But if we perform static loading, automatically unnecessary loadings are going to be happen. But in the case of dynamic loading, required elements are only be loaded to the memory. So which one is more powerful now? If it is the case of the static loading and dynamic loading, if we compare now, which one is more powerful? Come on, guys, all of you answer for me. Which one is more powerful? Dynamic loading is more effective and more powerful when compared with the static loading. Because of that reason only, in all the latest technologies like Java, when compared to the C and C++, Java is the latest now. In all the latest technologies now, dynamic loading is preferred. Dynamic loading is provided. So that's the reason why here we are having like what there dynamic loading. Alright, sir, that's okay, fine. Now in Java, pre-process is not required. Why? Because in Java, header files and hash include statements are not available. Alternatively, Java has classes and interfaces in the form of packages and import statements. Guys, clear? All of you are getting clarity on this point now? All of you are getting clarity on this point? No response, guys. In C and C++, how the content, and in Java, how the content is available. Getting clarity? Can I move forward? Can I move forward? Now I want to give a diagram. I want to give a diagram for Java related diagram here I'm going to give. Previously here we have seen that C and C++ diagrams are same diagram. I'm going to provide in what there with respect to the Java here now. Right now I want to provide this. Now observe carefully. Observe carefully. Now the point is what? 1 minute. No. Right, sir. Let me provide the point here. Just 1 minute. Now first of all, guys, now tell me, all of you now tell me. Now I want to take a Java file. So definitely the extension of that file must be what? I want to prepare a Java file. So extension of that file is what? Come on, fast. We have to answer for it. What should be the extension of that Java file here? Dot Java is an extension. Okay, fine. After preparing this dot Java file, what I have to perform there now? Tell me. After preparing Java file, then what I have to perform there? What I have to perform there? Compilation here I have to perform. What I have to perform there? Compilation. That's nice. Now all of you answer for it. When we perform compilation over any Java file, what files here we are able to get? After compilation of the Java file, what file here we are able to get? In the case of C and C++, what file we are able to get? In the case of C and C++, what files you are able to get? .exe files might be you are able to get in the case of C and C++. But in the case of Java, what files here we are able to get? No. In the case of Java, please remember it. In a C and C++ .exe files. But in the case of Java, here we are able to get like what files? No. Dot class files. Please remember it. In the case of Java, we are able to get what files? No. Dot class files. In the case of Java, we are able to get like what the dot class files. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? Right, sir. Okay. Now observe carefully. After getting these dot class files, then here we have to execute that one, right? The next step is what there? After getting the dot class files, no, there we have to execute the program. Execution here we have to perform. Right, sir. Now here we have to perform like what there? Execution. When we perform execution here, then after that, here what we are able to get? No, there we are able to get some results. After executing this program here, now here we are able to get some outputs. Some outputs here we are getting there. Okay, all right, sir. Now observe carefully. When we perform, right, if we come for this compilation here, now previously I given in the case of C and C++, I given that compilation. In compilation, how many missions are involved, sir? How many phases are available inside the compilation? Now tell me. In compilation, what phases are available there? Now tell me. In compilation, what phases are available in general? Now tell me. Pre-processor is the first phase. You know already this pre-processor. After that, what next one? You know, compiler. Next one is what? Compiler. After this compiler, then what next one? You know, assembler. After this assembler, then what next one? Get loader, link editor. Loader, link editor. Right. Sir. Now the first one is like what their pre-processor. Next one is what their compiler. Next one is what their assembler. Next one is what their loader, link editor. Pre-processor. Right. Sir. Now we are in what programming language? Java programming language. Now tell me guys, Java programming language. Now in Java programming language, is there any chance of having preprocessor? Is there any chance of having preprocessor? Now in the case of Java programming, now tell me, in the case of Java programming, is there any chance of having preprocessor? Tell me guys, is there any chance of having preprocessor? No, not required. Preprocessor is not at all possible in the case of Java programming. Not available. Preprocessor is not available. Of course, now if you want to talk about the remaining process in compiler, the compiler internal structure is very same. What is that compiler internal structure which is very same, you know? First one is what there, now tell me, lexical analysis. Right, so the first one is what there, lexical analysis. Next one is what there, syntax analysis. Syntax analysis. And the next one is like what there, semantic analysis. Semantic analysis. Next one is what there, intermediate code generation. Intermediate code generation. Next one is what there, code optimization. Code optimization. After this, what next one here? Right, sir. Then after this, code generation. Actually, the code generation. Right, sir. All these phases are available inside like what there? Compiler. All these phases are going in inside the compiler. Compiler internal structure here I'm talking there. But along with all this structure now, then loading, checking the libraries and everything is going to be performed there internally. That's going to be happen internally, that we are not, I have not specified that, but this is that compiler internal structure that here we have to understand. Okay, inside the compiler all these things are going to be happen, but immediately we don't require all these phases. No, from this diagram what we are understanding, what we are going to get there from this diagram, no, from this diagram here we are going to get like what there, from this diagram here we are able to get, here we are able to get preprocessor is not available in Java. Only that point here I'm telling you. Preprocessor is not existed in Java. Only that point only I'm telling there from this diagram. Don't think about all the remaining phases now. The remaining phases are not at all required immediately in our context. Now the point is what there? In C and C++, preprocessor is required. Preprocessor is available in C and C++. But in Java, preprocessor is not required, not available. The required conclusion also here I provided there. Now tell me what is the conclusion here? In Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, header files and hash include statements are not available. Alternatively, Java has classes and interface in the form of packages and import statements. Guys, now please all of you confirm to me. All of you are getting clarity on this point. All of you are getting clarity on this point, guys. Just I'm asking this question. Please respond for me, everybody. Right now, for the sake of you, I'm going to give one important interview question. Now try to answer for my question, guys. I'm going to ask one important interview question. Now try to answer for me. As you are aware about these concepts here, now we have to answer for it. What are the differences between, what are the differences between hash include statements and import statement? What are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? I think by this, as per our discussion here, we are able to provide some answers now. What are the differences between hash include statements and import statements? Yeah, I'm going to ask few questions to you. Now try to answer for it. Now tell me, hash include statements exists in what programming language? Hash include statements are available in what programming language? Come on, everybody. Hash include statements exist in what programming language? C and C++. C and C++. Whereas import statements exist in what programming language? Import statements are existing. Import statements exist in what programming language? Java. Right. Number two. Point number two. What hash include statements are including and what import statements are including? Let us understand this point here. Hash include statements. Hash include statements are able to include the predefined libraries which are available in the form of header files. Yes, clear? Hash include statements are able to include the predefined libraries which are available in the form of header files. Clear? Similarly, import statements are able to include the predefined libraries which are available in the form of classes and interfaces in the form of packages. All right, sir. Point number 3. Second point is clear. Right, sir. Now, hashing to statement is a header file of C and C++ program language which haven't any predefined classes and interface. While Java import statements have predefined class and interface. That's perfect, Aditya. Nice. All right, sir. Now, all of you understand the third point here. Now, tell me what statement is following static loading. Hash include statement, import statement. Two things are available. What is following static loading? Now, tell me hash include statements are providing what type of loading? Static loading. Am I right? Hash include statements are providing static loading, whereas import statements, are providing what type of loading, guys? Now tell me. Import statements are providing what? What type of loading? Dynamic loading. Import statements are providing what there? Dynamic loading. Hash include statements are providing static loading. Import statements are providing what there? Dynamic loading. That's nice. After this, who are accessing these hash include statements? Hash include statements are accessed by or accessible. Hash include statements are accessed by whom? Hash include statements are accessed by whom? Come on, hash include statements are accessed by whom? Accessed by what component? Preprocessor. Hash include statements are accessed by preprocessor. Whereas import statements are accessed by whom? Import statements are accessed by whom? Come on. What components there? Accessed by compiler and JVM. Compiler and JVM, both are going to access what their import statements. That's nice. Now point number 5. Guys, I'm asking one more question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. Everybody answer for this question now. I'm going to write one syntax here. Now we have to check the syntax is valid or invalid. For example, hash includes stdio.h, stdio.h, comma, conio.h, comma, math.h. Is the statement is possible in C? Come on, all of you must give response for it. Is it possible? Is the statement is possible in C? That means by using single hash include statement, is it possible to include more than one header file? More than one header file. Is it possible to include by using single hash include statement? No. Now the point here, what I am telling to you, observe carefully. In a C and a C++, a single hash include statement can include one header file. Can include only one header file. Only one header file. To include more header files, we have to use more hash include statements. Okay. Right, so now example here I'm telling to you. Now observe carefully. This is invalid. But what is valid here now? Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, hash include math.h, and so on. Right, sir. This is the point here we have to understand. But in Java, what is going to be happen? In Java, guys, understand it now. A single import statement can import more than one class, or interface of the same package. Of course, more than one class or interface of the same package. But if they are from different package, no, more than one import statement is required. Right, sir. In Java, a single import statement can import more than one class or interface of the same package by using the star notation. If we use a star notation, then it is going to be available. By using what notation? Star notation. Observe carefully. Now here I am going to provide this. Now observe carefully. Example here I am telling to you. Import java.io.star. Remember it. In a java.io package, more and more number of classes and interfaces are available. More and more number of classes and interfaces are available in java.io package now. Okay, but all we are going to get because of this star notation, all here we are able to use, all we are able to access. But if we want to use the content from multiple header files now, then more than one header file if you want to get now, we have to write that more number of hash include statement. But by using single star notation, we are able to get all classes and interfaces from the java.io package. But if the classes and interfaces from different packages, no, multiple import statements here we are able to provide. Right, so now there are the various differences here that we can understand in between hash include statements and import statements. Now let me talk about it. What are the differences between hash include and import statements? No, hash include statements exist in C and C++ and import statement exists in what? Their Java. Hash include statements are able to include the predefined libraries which are available in the form of header files, but whereas import statements are able to include the predefined libraries which are available in the form of classes and interface in the form of packages. Right, sir. Hash include statements are providing static loading. Import statements are providing dynamic loading. Hash include statements are accessed by preprocessor. Import statements are accessed by compiler and JVM. In C and C++, a single hash include statement can include only one header file. To include more header files, we have to use more hash include statements. Example I have given there. Now here I am telling that now this is like what they're valid. Here this is like what they're valid. Then after this is like what they're valid. But in Java, a single import statement can import more than one class or interface of the same package by using star notation. If you want to include that class and interface from different packages, multiple packages, no, multiple import statements here we have to write. But example here I have given the import java.io.star, that here we are able to provide. Okay, clear? So finally here what we understand there, that interview question is also be completed, guys. So this is the second difference here we have to understand. Now I'm telling there third difference here. What is the third difference here? I'm telling you is the most important difference now in the discussion. Observe carefully. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. Platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. But Java is a platform independent programming language. This is one of the important difference in the differences between Java and other programming languages. Right, sir. So what is the difference here? I'm telling there. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what there, a platform independent programming language. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on this, no? But now if you want to start this difference, no, it may take nearly 45 minutes or maybe 1 hour of discussion, sir, about this platform dependent, platform independent. The complete deep dive, internal content I have to discuss there. Then only we are able to understand this difference now, right? So can I discuss this topic on tomorrow? Can I discuss this topic on tomorrow? Right, sir. Good. Now then, Anthony, then only if you are attending my class, it's okay. That's your wish, but nothing is going to be happen. But then up to my classes, if I record UI part, I will discuss there. If I record any other content, I'll discuss up to the required part only. I'll discuss with you. Now observe carefully. Uh, but the thing is what? But if you go for any development part, if you go for any company or project development, front end is required, back end is required, and middleware is required. Understand it now. So front end is what the UI part and React JS or Angular. Already if you have prior knowledge, it's okay, nothing. But up to my classes is not going to be having any problem. Nothing is going to be happen up to my classes. Even if you miss the classes, no. But the point is, my recommendation is what the better to go with these classes. Why? Because if you go for any project, definitely front end, middleware, and back end. Three things are going to be available. Front end we are going to prepare by using UI technologies and React JS or Angular. Understand it now? Okay, then backend if you go there, some database technology, anything we can learn, no problem. But middleware in the sense core Java, advanced Java, and everything I will take now up to Spring Boot here. That's okay. As per your view, yes, and we can go for it, no issues. But better to talk with our admin there. Then Hemant is available. You can talk with him, guys. Then admin related things, just you can talk with Hemant. Now this is a number. Administration might be then what I'm telling there that. Admissions point of if you have any queries about my classes there, you can talk with him. He will give more clarity on it. Yeah, it's okay. Then Anton, it's okay as your wish. Just you can follow up that, no problem. Spring Boot will start 1 minute. When Spring Boot course will start, which is at 8 p.m. because it is rescheduling daily. So Amantiwari. Then I think that batch is not for you. Actually, I'm doing some work there. It's okay at evening time. Then that is not for your batch now. Maybe today onwards, the class are going to be happen. That evening Spring Boot classes now. Don't worry for it. Just I'm planning for it. Last 2 days might be I have not taken the classes for them actually. That's the reason why it was not provided. Aditya, then full stack Java will complete maybe 6 to 7 months of time. It will take minimum. Why? Because I need to cover more content, more depth. I have to cover 6 to 7 months of time. It will take. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Guys, then admissions process now, just directly you can talk with him. He will give more clarity on it. I'm not the right person to talk about money and all these things. Then relation between you and me should be the technology, not like money, right? Just directly we have some administrators, directly you can talk with him, then reach out them, then they'll give more clarity on it. Anyway, the contact person is what there. Hemant is a contact person, then this is the number for him. Just directly you can talk with him. Okay. Yeah, guys, within 1 or 2 days of time, the links are going to be expired now. Just better to complete your registration process also. Now they're giving that notice to me now. I'm giving that. Anyway, then talk with Hemant, then he will help you then to take the admission in this course. Yeah, my suggestion for the my suggestion is what the full stack Java. Always nowadays in every company might be full stack Java is going on. Then better to go with that full stack Java. Okay. Yeah, Patan. Now, so please do not change the timing. So 8 to 10 is fixed for the entire course. Anthony, then at 7 o'clock I will start our classes in the future. At 7 o'clock I'm going to take some other course also. Morning 7 to 9 is actual our schedule. 1 hour, 2 slots I'm going to take now. At present I'm going to take 8 to 9, but future I'm going to start our classes from 7 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, max 9:30. That's it. More than that, 9 or 9:30. Yeah, 7 to 9 actually our schedule. But at present I'm taking 8 to 9 only, or maybe 9:15 only. But in the future I will take your classes right from 7 o'clock. I'll show. Okay. Not after 10 o'clock, sir. Even I'm going to have some other batches there at 9 o'clock. No, they're not possible. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, Patan now. Just nothing, sir. Patan, just you can check it now. I think you opened that go to webinar, right? From where you are attending this class now? Through what we are attending class now? System or mobile phone? Please tell me. Is it system or mobile phone? Patan. Acha, mobile phone you are attending there. That's the problem, I think. So 1 minute, let me check it. 1 minute. And go to app here we are using, right? Go to webinar. 1 minute. Let me check it. And try to open in my mobile phone. Hmm. In mobile phone, yeah, I'll prepare regular classroom notes, not record to prepare yourself, sir. Aditya, already given that links. I think you already aware about that links now, right? Please take this link now. Just take screenshot of it. If you open that link there we are able to get daily classroom notes. 1 minute. And where we can mobile phone, where we can identify the captions. 1 minute. If it is a system, then you are able to get the captions, sir. Now in mobile phone, no. Yeah, that support, I think so. It's not available here in mobile phone. Yeah, Patan. Then I have seen that, but I checked it, but that option is not available. For recordings, do you have any time limit? No, actually, officially, we are saying that 1 year of time after completion of your course, but more than that, you are able to get recordings. Anthony, recordings you are able to get up to 1 year of time, even after the completion of the course. But it's not also be like any boundary, but more than that, you are able to get. Okay, Patan. Then in mobile phone, I think so that option is not available. If it is in system, no, then we are able to get the captions option. But I checked it, but I think so we are not getting it. We are not having that. That option is not available. No. Okay. If it is a system, then we are able to have captions option. In mobile phone, it is not available. Yeah, Anjuni, so many members are attending this class now. That is the reason why. Just you can type the question immediately. I can give reply now. Yeah, Patan, better to use system there. Open that link in system, then we are able to get the captions option. It will not get any problem here. Yeah, Anjuni, then actually then I'm able to provide that, but initially I provided that. Initial of my classes, no. But the point is what there is going on clumsy totally. So no clarity on this. Might be all the people are might be talking continuously. So no clarity on the questions now. That's the reason why just if we type the question, definitely I'll talk about it. Definitely I'll give immediate reply. Even not even 1 minute delay. Immediately I'm able to give reply. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, guys. Then anything else? Then shall we meet in tomorrow? Right. Thank you, guys. Then try to finish your registration. Also, might be people are sending messages to me regarding this expiry of this link, no demos link, no. Then private link will come there very soon. Maybe tomorrow or day, no private link will come there. If the link is changed for the registered members, you will get a mail from Durgasoft official mail. There we are able to get that new link details. No, don't worry. Yeah, sure, Fatan, definitely. Then definitely we have to get job. For the sake of that only, you are learning the courses now. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll meet you tomorrow, guys. Yeah.